Hi, it's Emily here with Speed.Training, and I'm talking to Keith Pickens, former player at Missouri State and now assistant coach. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us, Keith.
No problem. How are you?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm doing good.
Okay, so first, for all of those people out there who don't know too much about you, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, like she said, my name is Keith Pickens. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. Former basketball player here at Missouri State, and now I'm a graduate assistant, so I'm working towards my master's. That's all I have right now.
Okay, and what'd you get your undergrad in?
Oh, sports administration. I graduated in 2013, so year removed.
Okay, so what is it that you're doing right now other than, going to school for your master's?
I'm helping out with the assistant coaching, so just playing my part in helping the players out, getting them in the gym to get better, uh, doing recruitment letters for former players that we want to come to the university. Just small tasks right now, and I just hope it develops into more for me.
Okay, so you're also working on the letters to try to recruit players.
Yes, like every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I just create like a different kind of quote of the day or something, and just put it on a Missouri State letterhead paper and address it to the players of interest, and we send those out 3 days a week, and I'm in charge of that right now. So it's kind of fun for me, something different.
Okay, do you go out and do any of the recruiting yourself?
No, since I'm a graduate assistant, I'm not able to do any of that right now. Just like I said, I have to hopefully one day become a official assistant, and then that could be more of a responsibility for me.
So what is it that the recruiter looks for when they're scouting out these players? Obviously, talent. Is there anything else?
I mean, talent is one of the things, but I think the biggest thing is just a kid's attitude and like toughness, and then the talent, because sometimes you can beat talent with hard work and a smart kid and a kid that's just going to give all the effort. And obviously talent's going to be on the board. But like I said, just you want a player that's going to work hard and a player with a positive attitude.
Okay, well, we'll definitely touch on that a little bit later. Let's go back to yourself. When did you start playing basketball?
Started playing basketball in eighth grade. So
Oh,
I didn't play forever like a lot of kids did, but I started in eighth grade and I'm glad I did.
okay. Did you play any other sports, or was it pretty much just basketball?
I played baseball fifth and sixth grade. It was all right for me. I wasn't the best, so uh, then in middle school, I decided to try to play football. So I played football for seventh and eighth grade, and that was all right for me too. Then I also tried to play football again my sophomore year in high school, and then I got hurt, so I let it go, and I decided I would focus on basketball.
Okay, what happened? What injury did you get from
I
football?
broke my collarbone, and it was probably the first week of practice, and I probably could have came back like week six or something, but I was just like, I don't, not worth it.
Okay, so then how did you know that basketball was the sport you wanted to play?
I actually didn't know until my junior years when I first got the opportunity to play with the summer league basketball for high school kids, which is AAU basketball, and that was my first opportunity to play that. I actually tried out my sophomore year summer for an AAU team called the St. Louis Eagles, and I got cut. So I was a little down on myself, and I didn't blame anybody, but I took the fault myself, and I wasn't prepared for it and everything. And the next year, I got invited to come to a team to play, and it was a different team. It was Ramey basketball in St. Louis, so they gave me a great opportunity to showcase my talent to schools, and I did the best I could.
Okay, would you say that one of the big differences in playing on your second team was the coaching?
The AAU team is more just like a free for all kind of. You respect the coaches, don't get me wrong, but they are there to give you the best opportunity to show what you can do. So it's not as structured. It's more just show your talent, play hard, and give it everything you got type of deal. And I liked it.
Okay, so do you think that that helped you get into playing for your college or get into college to play?
Definitely, because up until that point, I actually had no idea that I would be a college basketball player, and I hadn't been recruited until then. It was my junior year summer when I first got letters from schools, and I was shocked because I didn't think that I could be a Division I basketball player, and I kept working because that was one of my goals to become Division I basketball player, but I just didn't know I would have the opportunity. So when I got the opportunity to play AAU basketball, I took advantage of it, and I would peep over and I would see schools that I would be interested in going to, and I would just play my heart out, and it was good. And when I saw Missouri State there, I think I probably played the best defense I've ever played. And later that week, they gave me a phone call and showing interest, and it went from there.
So did you always know that you wanted to go to Missouri State?
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because in 8th grade, I came to Springfield, Missouri with a few of my friends, and just we were playing basketball in a little tournament, but it was just a one-time thing for me. And we actually came to a Missouri State game, and I told one of my friends, I was like, I'm going to play for the Bears one day, and this was in 8th grade, and after that time, like I knew I wanted to become a Bear, but I just didn't know what was going to happen. And then when I saw Missouri State watching one of my AAU games, I put it all online and showed them what they wanted to see, and they gave me the opportunity.
Well, good. That's definitely a positive. Let's fast forward a little bit. I know that you did fight through some injuries. Why don't you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, my freshman year, I got hurt. I tore my meniscus in my left knee, and I kind of tried to play through it like the last 2 weeks of the season, and then finally the last tournament of this season, I went up for a dunk and I hurt it even more. So I was shut out for the rest of the tournament. It was like two games left after that I didn't play in. So I had the surgery following the season, I believe, and the surgery was to repair my meniscus and also calm down my patellar tendonitis, which I had throughout the season. So they scraped some tissue from it to refurbish the blood, and I set out for that for 4 to 5 months, I believe. And my first week back, I was trying to get back in the midst of things, and I might have sped it up and went too fast and didn't ease into it. I started playing right away. I was excited to be back and everything. So that happened, and then I ended up rupturing my patellar tendon completely 5 months later. And it was a summer I was back at home, and I was just working out, trying to get better. Because at that time, the coach we had, Coach Martin, he's now at Cal. He told us all, he was like, if you guys don't get better in the summer, then there's no reason for you to come back for the fall and be on the team. So I literally took everything he said to heart. And when I got back from the injury, I was trying to get better, and I was working, and I overworked myself too early after coming back from the surgery, and it ended up being worse for me. I ruptured my patellar tendon, and that was a 12-month recovery. 6 months, no, 2 months I was on crutches, and then 6 months I couldn't run or anything like that. So it was a slow process for me because I've always been an active kid, so it was different for me.
So during that time off, is there anything that you did do? Did you sit with the team? Did you watch games? What role did you play?
Oh, I played like the sort of cheerleader role during the games. I would wave my towel and show my excitement because I was excited. I mean, I was upset I couldn't play, but I was excited for my teammates, and it was a big year for us because we won the conference championship that year, and it kind of sucked not being a part of it on the court, but I was a part of it emotionally and spiritually with my team. And then I would always see stuff from the sideline, and I would just help the players out as much as I could. I was still a young guy to them, but they respected me and they listened to me, so it was good.
So after that last injury, was that kind of like the end of your basketball playing career?
No, because that happened my sophomore year, and I sat out that whole year, and then I came back the following year, and it was just never the same for me. So I'm the type of player, I'm going to play hard, I'm going to hustle, I'm going to do small things. So I was still able to be effective when I could play. It was just a matter of how limited I was during practice, during games. I mean, by the time I was a senior, I practiced maybe once a week, if that, and I just participated in as many of these games as I could. And my senior year, I ended up having a stress fracture in my right leg for overcompensating from my left knee that had been bothering me so much. I ended up wearing down my right leg and had a stress fracture, so I was in a boot. So I was flexing between a boot and basketball shoes. So I would be in the boot till I get to the locker room, then put on my basketball sneakers and then play and get right back in the boot. It It was a up and down roller coaster from my sophomore year to my senior year with injuries, and that kind of stopped me from being the basketball player I wanted to be, but it developed me into a better person that I think I am today.
Okay, well, you say it developed you into a better person. What lessons have you learned from this? What have you taken from your experience?
Just more, it's not all about winning. I mean, it's not all about playing. It is about winning. So basically, with that, it's so much more to life than just being an athlete. Just looking at life in a different perspective, and it gave me so many perspectives. I mean, I wanted to play so bad, and I couldn't. So I realized that I have to make the most of what I can and just be appreciative of the opportunities that I have, and just my mindset was to turn the negatives into a positive, and I think I did a great job of that. Just it was negative not being able to play and continue my basketball career, but it's positive that it just taught me just not to give up and just to keep trying, and good things will happen. And I have so much support here in Springfield from the people who saw me trying, and they saw me fighting through injuries, and it was all in the newspapers how hurt I was and everything. So, and they would see me on the court, they would see me in pain, and that kind of developed me into a person like of respect. I'm well respected, and I think it's good, and so I can't be happier with what's going on with me right now.
Okay, and where exactly do you want to take this? I know that you're going to school for your master's. What are you going to do after that?
Hopefully, I can get an opportunity to coach at the Division I level. I mean, I know it's a process. I mean, I might have to one day be a high school coach, or maybe a JUCO coach, um, but eventually, I want to become a Division I basketball coach.
Any schools out there that you're looking at that you want to coach at?
I would love to coach here, honestly. I mean, this is the place for me, I think. And um, other than that, I can't really say right now because that would be me, going against what the team I'm like fighting for. But anybody who gave me the opportunity, I'd be willing to give them my best. And that's the thing. But with me, you're going to get the best out of me, no matter what.
So what advice would you give to these kids out there who are, playing in junior high, high school, who want to play at a higher level?
I think the best advice I can give is, just never take it for granted, and never go on the court and not play your hardest because you're tired, because you're waiting for something. I mean, you just never know when it could be your last game. It could be last time dribbling the ball, last time swinging a bat, anything. You just want to leave it all on the field or the court whenever you're on the court or the field, and seize the opportunity and take advantage of it.
And what about schooling? I mean, I know that playing sports does take up a lot of the time. What emphasis would you put on the schooling?
Oh, school is very important. I mean, I know coaches here, we're always, graduate first, just academics first. You're a student athlete, not an athlete student. So the focus is to come here and get a degree in 4 years, and I did that, so I was very happy with myself. Um, they really make sure we're on top of things, like for us, make sure we have our syllabus to our instructors, like that we communicate with them, we build a relationship with them, because as student athletes you miss a lot of class traveling and all of that, so you want to develop a relationship with the professor where they understand and they can work with you and be lenient. So if you don't have any of that, it's so hard to be a student athlete.
Okay, so do you find that with your injuries, so you had to go through, not only were you playing, you had to rehab your own injury or kind of work on rehabbing your injuries and be a student. Did you have issues balancing all that?
No, at first I did. I was just, focused more on trying to rehab my injury and get back as soon as possible. Then the year I set out, it slowed down life so much for me, and I was able to, balance everything out, realize what's important, and not be so sped up. So in a way, it was a good thing for me, and I did start off just thinking rehab first, and then I would get behind on schoolwork, but then I realized what's important, school. So I got on top of that, and really my sophomore year, it kind of boosted everything for me academically, just to shoot for better grades and not be satisfied with a C. Just shoot for an A or B, and if you get a C, you get a C knowing you tried your hardest.
Okay, if you don't mind me asking, would you get your what was your GPA for your undergrad?
My GPA was a 2.8. I wish it was higher, but my freshman year, I did not take academics seriously because I thought I was going to be a professional basketball player and all of that. And I got behind, and it wasn't until my sophomore year when I got hurt that I was able to realize that this is really important. And then I picked it up from there, so it was good for me.
Yeah, I definitely think that that's something that these young athletes need to realize going into college, that they may not get that chance to play at the professional level. So school is important.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody's not going to be a professional athlete. I mean, we all want to be, we all, dream to be, but reality comes in. We're all not going to be. So what's important is academics and being able to compete in the workforce.
So I know that now you're helping out. You're a graduate assistant coach at the school. Are you doing any other coaching?
No, in the summer I did some one-on-one individual lessons. But for that, I mean, I worked at some camps, and other than that, I haven't been doing anything else with coaching. Just it's a full plate here. You get in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you don't leave till 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's long days, and it's worth it because it's all for the better goal to make it to the NCAA tournament with the team. So it's good.
So the camps and the one-on-one coaching that you're doing, were those with younger kids, older athletes?
The one-on-ones were just younger kids, like we had a Missouri State camp, and then a few parents they came up to me and said, "Hey, would you want to do some one-on-one lessons with my kid?" And I took advantage of that, and because kids kind of look up to you when you play college sports, so just building a relationship with them and helping them become a better basketball player.
That's good. Do you find that there's like a lot of responsibility? A lot of responsibility falls on you because these kids are looking up to you. They want to be you. They want to grow up and be you.
Yeah, I think that's just important. Like, for your image, the image you display throughout your career is kind of what people paint you as. So, you know, I was a fighter. I was battling through injuries. So parents came to the game, they see that, and they can kind of get a better grasp of me, and they would want to. They feel comfortable enough coming to me and ask me to, do individual lessons with their kid. I mean, if you come off and you're not that person, it may be harder for you to get an opportunity like that.
Yeah, I completely understand. I think it's a great thing you working with these kids, and from everything that I've read, everything I've heard about you, you're a great role model coming back from your injuries, fighting through them, and everything that you've done and learned from them since then. With that being said, I've recently spoken to a coach who coaches track, and they've instituted, or their district has instituted, the no cut rule. I know that we've talked about that, you and I, before. What are your views on it?
My views on the no cut rule is I don't think it's right. I think you have to cut a kid. Like I said, I was cut before, and it made me work harder. And I think once you get cut, if you don't want to work harder, then it's something you truly don't want to do. And I believe if everyone makes a team, then it takes the level of competitiveness down, and it just the the desire for people to want to do it. I think it'll cut that in half, and I mean just the playing time the kid will get just because everyone's on the team. I just think it. I don't like it personally, but I could see how some people could argue for it and support it, but I don't like it.
Okay, so I mean, what would you say to maybe some of these parents who believe that the no cut rule should be instituted, that their child should not be cut from a team just because they are less athletic than the next kid? What would you say to these parents?
I mean, yeah, just be honest, I would just personally say, I mean, hey, they're not athletic enough. You can always work on things like that. You could get in the gym, you can lift weights, you can exercise, stretch, and become a better athlete. So I think for those parents, I think they should want their kids to be cut and be built into a better person, because I think in whole, when you get cut from something, it truly should burn inside. Maybe a kid will cry. I know I cried when I got cut, and this is my sophomore year in high school. Um, but that's all going to help them out in the future if they get cut and they realize that it's something they really want to do. Then they'll give that much more effort, and the parent will support them, and they'll do what they have to do to get to the next level in the next year.
I couldn't agree with you any more than that. I definitely believe that it'll build character. Their parents aren't going to be there to protect them forever. But, it's always nice to hear another coach's perspective on it. Um, One thing, going back to your injuries, is there something that any advice you could give to these parents, these young athletes, as far as what they can do to possibly prevent or do their best to prevent any injuries like the ones that you sustain?
My injury was so crazy that I don't think I could have done anything to prevent it. Injuries are going to happen. We know they all suck. Nobody wants to deal with them, but reality is we have to. And the best thing to prevent injuries is, just to keep your body hydrated. Stretch when you can. Ice down after a performance. Eat healthy. Get good nights of sleep. Just everything just to take care of your body. I think all of that pays off in the long run. You can never stress how important your eating habits are and all of that. So that's what I would say.
Okay, thanks so much, Keith. Is there anything else that you have, any other advice, anything else that you'd want to say to these young athletes, their parents, other coaches?
Just to no cut rule. I think that it's just back to what I said earlier in the interview. Negative into a positive. You find negatives, you get negatives drawn to you in life, and you just have to find a way to make that to a positive. And once you do that, it develops your character and who you are.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Keith, for your time. I know that you're busy, still being in school and practicing your team. I really appreciate your time, and I hopefully look forward to speaking to you again.
Thank you. Sounds good.
All right, Keith, you have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.